At the Bajani Gym, getting ready for Proctor Phantoms in Whitchester to do battle tonight in the final game of the season for senior night for Proctor. I'm here as usual with Hall of Fame coach Wade Mitchell. Take it away, Wade.
Yeah, coach, first question. Have you ever coached a game with 3,000-point scorers?
No, I don't think so. I never coached a game with two of them mine, that's for sure.
No, that's a rare feat, really.
Yeah.
I never did.
Yeah.
And I'd like to know how many times it's ever happened. Be interested.
Well, it's great that McKieran's finally graduating, but I'm losing mine too, so.
Next thing is, what's it like coming into this gym, knowing the Proctor tradition, when a big game?
Well, the gym is a lot like ours, so we kind of feel at home. It's a lot cozy gym. I like it.
Yep.
It's not so imposing as some of the big ones, and we're looking to have a good game.
The other thing is, again, we're going to battle that same old thing, the three Rutland County teams. That's going to be tough when you keep thinking about it every year.
Yeah, well, it's up and down. They'll have their down years too.
Oh yeah, their days are coming.
That's for sure.
You got.
Well, thanks, Coach. Thanks for coming by.
Good luck, Coach.
Spending the time, and good luck. Okay, well, keep us on. Wade, so what do you think? This is the senior game for, two players who've been playing varsity for 4 years, Abby McKieran and Olivia Valerio, also Courtney Courier for the Phantoms. What do you think? What do you think are the keys to this game?
Well, for Proctor, obviously they got to stop the Paris girl and the other 1,000-point scorer.
La Pearl, yeah.
La Pearl. We've seen both of them before. I remember La Pearl being very quick. I was very impressed with her. And of course, Paris girls comes from the family there that they know how to put the ball in the hole. What they got to go with them, I don't know. You don't read any other name in the paper, only Paris and La Pearl. So, again, I guess we talked earlier. If Proctor has their game, Proctor will win the game. If they don't, who knows?
Could be close.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the two games last year. The first game that Proctor lost by 1 over at Whitchester. That was the first game that Olivia Valerio was injured. She had broken her hand the game before, and Whitchester was able to squeak out a 1-point win. The second time they met was in the state semifinal game, and Olivia Valerio was back during that game. Abby McKieran really shut down La Pearl. She did basically nothing in that game, and Proctor was able to also control Parrish with Mackenzie Hickey, and ultimately came out with a pretty relatively easy win over at the Odd in the state semifinal game. So today we've got both Abby McKieran and Olivia Valerio at full strength. Olivia played the whole season. Some other new faces around, but you're right. If Proctor ends up playing the game that they can play, it should be a 10 to 20 point win.
Yeah.
However, given that it's senior night, sometimes the focus isn't quite there, and the emotions are running high, and it's not always easy to put everything together.
Plus, it's vacation week.
Yeah,
and I never like to coach during vacation week and/or winter carnival week.
Right, they're not in the same state of mind. They're not in the same pattern of going to school and going to practice and coming to a game at night.
Altogether different.
Yeah, the other thing is that there may not really be much riding on this game. Proctor is within a point of being the second seed. I think it's 1.5 points of being the second seed, and I'm not sure if West Rutland has another game, but they're either going to be the 2 or the 3 seed, and either one doesn't make much difference when you're going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So pretty soon we'll get the festivities going with the public address announcer and honor the seniors who are here tonight.
Okay.
Good evening and welcome to Proctor tonight's varsity girls matchup. But before we do the starting lineups, tonight's a very special night for our varsity ladies, especially 3 special seniors that we have this year. Before we recognize them, we'd like to recognize a few seniors playing their last game, regular season game, from Whitchester. Here's number 10, Parrish. And number 34, Lindsay LaPearl. Now we'd like to recognize our three seniors. Our first senior, number 21, Courtney Courier. Accompanying Courtney is her parents, Jody and Mike. Our next senior is number 20, Olivia Valerio. Here with Olivia today is parents Joanne and Matt, and younger brother and sister Isabel and Joe. And our last senior is number 13, Abby Kieran. With Abby tonight is parents Cindy and Joe, and siblings Deanna, Connor, and Abby. And on behalf of Proctor, I'd like to thank all three of you for what you've meant to our sports program, our school, and our community. You will not be forgotten. Thank you, girls. Okay, here we go now for the starting lineups. First, for Whitchester, number 5, Sammy Hartman. Number 10, Phoebe Parrish. Number 14, Laura Valcourt. Number 15, Haley Mears. And number 34, Lindsay LaPearl. Whitchester is coached by Dennis Wood and assisted by Katie Ritz. Now the starting lineups for Proctor Lady Phantoms. Number 10, junior captain Sierra Gordon. Number 24, junior Emma Riker. Number 21, senior Courtney Courier. Number 20, senior captain Olivia Valerio. Number 13, senior captain Abby Kieran. Your Lady Phantoms are coached by Chris Hughes and assisted by Lisa Hughes and Jacob Tanner. Up we go. Please rise with your hats and play the national anthem.
So I was just thinking that we might actually have another 1,000-point scorer in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Right in front of us.
Yeah.
One of the officials for the game is Kim Levins, who also was a 1,000-point scorer during her.
One of only two at MSJ.
All right, so quickly running down the starting lineups for Whitchester: Sammy Barkham, Phoebe Parrish, Laura Timmons, Haley Mears, Samantha Page, and for the Phantom, Sierra Thornton, Abby McCarran, Olivia Valerio, Courtney Currier making a start as a senior, and Emma Reichert. And
got a backcourt right off the bat against Winchester.
Quick turnover, and here comes Proctor in the home whites, moving left to right.
Man to man with Whitcomb Rochester.
Proctor thought they might be in the flex for a second there, but not. Olivia Valerio for three, off the mark. Rebound to Courtney Currier. Abby McCarran outside the three-point line. Penetrates a bit. Turnover that time. Here comes LaPearl off the mark on the layup. McCarran tries to go all the way to the hoop, and Parrish throws it against the wall.
Abby had the Reinhardt wide open underneath, didn't see her.
Ball into McCarran. Ball needs to move a little quicker. I mean, I know nobody's out on her, but swinging the ball over to Thornton, then to McCarran, inside. Courtney Currier, a little bit of a missed pass. Good pass on the cut to McCarran. Nice play by Reichert and McCarran.
I'd like to see more of that.
That movement is something that sometimes gets a little lost. Looks like Whitchester's in a flex.
Abby's got LaPearl.
As she did last year.
Thornton's got Parrish.
I believe that was Parrish for two. Reichert off the mark.
Stepped out of bounds.
Turns the ball over to the Phantoms. Score is tied at 2 with 5:58 left in the first. Long way to go, of course. Reichert on the inside. Valerio out top over to Thornton. Currier on the inside. Proctor exchanging. Now they're running their flex.
Keep working, White.
Ball over to Thornton in the corner. Up to Reichert at the top of the key.
We're in a stall, I believe.
Bride getting ready to check into the game. Good hands by Valerio, knocking the ball out of bounds. In comes Lexi Bride. Courtney Courier comes out after 3 minutes into the first quarter. One of the few people that Abby matches up with in La Pearl, where she's bigger, stronger, and probably one of the few people that La Pearl deals with who might be quicker.
Yep. Hit that right on the head.
You can't, oh boy, off the mark, and rebound tracked down that time by Thornton. Quickly up to Reichert, who takes it all the way to the hoop and in.
Emma has spurts. She looks like she can't do anything wrong, and other times it's just the exact opposite. And keep those tears out of her eyes. She'll have a good game.
Yeah, very emotional player, and it works for her and against her depending upon which way the emotions are going. Here comes Proctor with a 4-2 lead. Olivia all the way to the hoop. Looked like she got her hand hit, but no call. Emma Reichert looked like she was in pretty good position, but didn't quite get squared up.
She was moving. She got there a second too late. Good call. Very low scoring first quarter here.
Proctor's had a couple of those lately. Checking into the game, Brianna Hillier. Checking out, Sammy Barkham for Whitchester.
We were talking earlier before the game. No school this week and no winter carnival. When I was coaching, I always hated both of those. The kids aren't used to the regular routine.
Thornton off the mark. Yeah, it's tough to get in sync when you're not in your regular schedule.
Yep.
People learn over time that, particularly athletes, they have their set patterns of what they do and what they like to do. Oh, very nice pass.
Yep. Beautiful. Off the fingertips of Abby. Right.
She doesn't really quite have that quickness to make that move. She's good when she gets down inside and can do those 1 and 2 dribble drives we talked about a lot. But nevertheless, ball over to Whitchester. Following Lexi Bride. It's her first, team second. Proctor maintaining a 2-point lead.
Great pass.
Olivia goes in, misses the layup. Boy, you got to hit those.
You don't see that very often.
Yeah. They both caught that with their necks and ended up in Olivia's hands. Nice look away pass that time. Well, Emma hit her head on the floor that time.
Well, it's a very technical situation there. Anytime a head injury is involved.
Yes, with the concussion protocol that everybody has to go through. Ball out to Isabel, swung over to Sister Olivia, and she drains it for 2. Proctor opens up a 6-2 lead. I don't know how a team can run a flex against a team that plays a flex.
You don't see that very often.
Just because, what do you think you're going to gain from it? Isabel Valerio with the box on the inside, and here she comes. Fumbling, bumbling, stumbling, as they say. Well, I guess may as well shoot it.
Well, shoot it and fumble, dribble, fumble all you want, but the end result is the 2 points.
I was most impressed with the rebound in the crowd because she doesn't go more than 5'5". Proctor opens it up to 9-2 lead.
Proctor definitely has Whitcomb, Rochester confused here. They haven't had a real good shot.
They're running a bit of a circle, and Lexi Bride picks up another foul.
Guess I didn't see that one.
I think she had kind of one hand wrapped around her as she.
Oh, that's not legal.
Oh, it's
used to be
legal as long as you don't see it, I guess. Anyway, Kim Levins thought it wasn't, and Livia's going to go for that one. Oh boy, you got to hit those. I don't know what the deal is, but that's 4 points, and the only good thing is that Whitchester seems to be intent on giving the ball back every time that Proctor misses a layup or has a misstep, and out of the game comes Lexi Bride, and in comes Meredith Parker. We got to move that ball quicker.
Yep.
Isabel off the glass. Right over the big girl. Proctor moves out to an 11-2 lead with the unlikeliest of leading scorers, Isabel Valerio scoring 5 in about 4 minutes in the first quarter.
Isabel's got 2 more years here. It's going to be interesting.
Well, one thing I know is she has no qualms at all or fear about shooting the ball. And
I've always been taught that if you don't shoot it, you can't score. So I have no faults with that at all.
And to be perfectly honest, with an 11-2 lead going into the second quarter, Whitchester is lucky they're not down by a lot more, with a couple of layups being missed and the like. This could easily be 15-2 or 17-2, and Proctor's doing a decent job on the boards and causing all kinds of havoc with the Whitchester offense. Now it's way too early, but Proctor does seem to at least be enough on their game where they're hitting shots, jump shots particularly.
I thought that first quarter Proctor played very good defense. Lexi Bride, when she was in there, she had 2 or 3 interceptions just by hustling. Abby killed the dribble. Can't do that. That was her problem. She didn't use her left hand.
Proctor extends the lead again, this time to 11. Whitchester again in its flex.
Very good baseline D.
Olivia with the steal up to McKieran, who stop and go all the way to the hoop.
What's wrong with that basket down there?
I think the right-hand side has a cup on it or something. Abby McKieran from outside. There's Isabel with the steal. She's going to take her time this time and go all the way for two. Well, on senior night, one Valerio is starting to put up the points. Actually, they both are at this point, but nevertheless, Proctor now extends to a 15-2 lead.
Good defense.
Which is, frankly, that isn't what I was expecting in this game, because La Pearl's, really considered one of the best point guards in.
Right now, I can't recall seeing either her or Parrish. They just disappeared.
Abby McKieran, I think, has taken La Pearl out of the game at this point, and Proctor is obviously mindful of wherever Parrish goes. I've seen Parrish play I went over and watched her play at South Royalton, and when she gets her outside shot going, she's devastating.
Tough. She can be tough.
And it's a very quick release. So I think the best thing you can do is to make sure she never does get going.
Yep. Emma's back in. I'm a little surprised there.
And here comes Winchester back.
Shoulder dribble.
Still trying to run a version of the flex. Not even a version, it's the actual flex. And there's Sierra Thornton with another rebound. Ball over to Olivia, gets to the rim and picks up the foul.
I think that you can move the ball inside on Winchester. The big girl does it. She's not very agile.
Okay, get you on the second. 12, max going in.
All right. What did that girl do today?
I think she slept, to be perfectly honest. And she hits the second one. Proctor extends the lead again, this time 16-2. Proctor up by 14, 6:21 left in the second quarter.
And now Winchester's running with no high or low post.
I think part of what happens with the flex, when you're running people through the progression, you actually take away whatever value your point guard has because they get buried in the mix.
I never was much on the flex.
As far as I could tell, the biggest thing it could do is waste time.
Yeah.
Nice pass that time by Meredith Parker.
Now that's a beautiful play.
Finished by Abby McKieran.
A beautiful play. Nice pass from Parker.
One of the things I've seen about Parker throughout the year is that she doesn't try to do too much. She knows what she can do, and she does the best she can with that.
Boy, what great D by Abby.
Rebound by Parker. Nice pass.
Oh, beautiful. Proctor putting on a show. 20-2. That's the best I've seen Proctor play in a half.
Well, it's good because the playoffs start next week.
That's right. I love that anticipation on Emma's part. Almost got there.
Getcha. High black.
Boy, it's almost like she doesn't know where the hoop
The
is.
ball doesn't count when it goes up through. But she's shooting, and I like that.
One of the things I like about today is it seems that every one of the Phantoms is involved in the offense.
They certainly are.
And it doesn't matter who it is.
That's a good observation.
Emma Reichert, again, a little late on.
Lisa. Emma's got 2. So.
Well, they finally got off that 2.
And Sammy Barkham hits the first.
Well, they've been on that 2 for a long time.
Isabel Valerio coming back into the game. Off the mark on the second. Rebound by Olivia. And here come the Phantoms. Reichert goes all the way to the hoop. LaPearl off the mark. Reichert with the rebound. Here comes McCarron. She's up.
Emma has
They're doing fine as long as they don't shoot layups.
Abby hasn't made that layup there in the last 4 games.
It's kind of her bread and butter.
Plugging that middle up, and she's just plain not putting the ball down.
3:17 left. Proctor with a 20-3 lead in the second quarter. Oh, McCarron a little bit aggressive out there on the outside. Pretty close play, but did get a bit too much of LaPearl that time, and McCarron picks up her first foul. That's the team's 5th. 3:08 left.
You have 11 now. 5. What?
Proctor now with a quicker lineup than you usually see. Erica May checks into the game. LaPearl from outside. Here comes McCarron.
This will be interesting. Still didn't make it.
34.
But she is going to go to the line for 2. The easy ones, the foul shots and the layups, they seem to be off on. And otherwise, they've been pretty much dominant on both ends. McCarron hits the second. Proctor extends to 21-3 with 2:42 left in the second quarter. Barkham goes to the rim that time.
Abby's got to take that shot.
Oh, there goes Parker to the rim, off the mark. And Parker and May fight over the ball and knock it out of bounds. Good take by Parker that time. I'm sure nobody was expecting it, that's for sure. And best time to do it. And here comes the Whitchester flex once more. And McCarron picks up her second.
That's her second. 16 foul.
1:46 left. Might want to If I'm Chris Hughes with a 21-5 lead, I might pull Abby out for 146.
Not too bad of an idea.
Get Sierra Thornton in there, have her and Isabel and Olivia do the ball handling, bringing it up.
Boy.
Missed both of them. Good spin to the middle, off the mark that time. Sierra Thornton getting ready to check in. Good defense off that flex. They're not trailing on the screens, which is causing all kinds of problems.
And a delayed call there.
11 the first, yep. 17 call.
So fouls on Isabel Valerio, her first, team 7th. And off the mark on the first.
Your man who had 4.
Olivia with the rebound. Here comes Abby. Olivia with the offensive rebound that time. Over to Isabel. Over to May. Inside out. This time to Sierra Thornton. Off the mark. 49 seconds left, and back comes Whitchester.
14.
40 seconds.
Now they're running the Proctor's double up play where they follow around the screen. And they know the play, of course, and here comes Abby McKieran for an easy layup.
Quickness.
Recognized the play immediately when they went into it because they run the same play.
Yep. And they throw it away.
Good deny defense that time, and Isabel opened to the ball, and when she did, it was sitting right there, and she didn't need to pick it up. 30-second timeout called by Coach Hughes for the Phantoms. Proctor with a 23-5 lead with 20 seconds left. My guess is they're going to go for one shot, which actually makes some sense here. Sometimes I wonder if you're a team that's down 23-5 and you get 20 seconds left, what the point of going for one shot is.
You see it every day, yo.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they feel like they don't want to get further behind, but to me, score the ball, then dig in, see if you can get the ball back and get another one.
I have to wonder how many times in the last 2-3 years Winchester's had 5 points at halftime. I don't think too many.
I think the on the ball and perimeter defense by Proctor is really taking them out of it.
Yeah, the Proctor defense has been unbelievable. They're anticipating. I love that.
10 seconds. I don't think you want Isabel in the post. You might want Olivia in the post. And that's what you get when you do.
Yep.
And Proctor
nice
has a 25-5 lead going into halftime. You really couldn't ask for, well, actually, you know, if they hit 5 layups that they missed, this would be a 35-5 game.
Complete blowout.
And there still is a hint of life in Whitchester, but that hint is fading.
Little.
Now, I've seen LaPearl and I've seen Parrish, and with the 3-point shot, they can get back in this game pretty easily.
They act confused. I don't know why. I think the Proctor quickness has got to them. They're not used to seeing speed like that. And again, I go right back to the anticipation. When you anticipate, you're going to get a lot of steals.
I'll go down the halftime scoring once the official scorer gets done tallying it up.
He's right on the ball.
I don't want to rush him.
Just give it to him and he'll give it right back to you.
Gotta love Greg, though. He's guarding that book like with his life depends on it.
He's got his woman here tonight. I saw him come in with her.
Ah, good for him. A little 2-on-2 action, full court on senior night, and
Phil McKernan's out there, I think.
well, there's at least one. All right, let me go down the halftime scoring. This isn't going to be too hard for Whitcomb. You got 3 points for Samantha Barkham and 2 for Phoebe Parrish, and that's all she wrote. For Proctor, you've got Olivia Valerio with 7, Abby McKieran with 7, Emma Reichert with 4, and Isabel Valerio with 7.
Well distributed.
And that's what you like to see. When this team does that and distributes the ball and everybody's part of the offense, they are going to be hard to beat in Division 4 going into the odd.
They definitely are.
All right, so we'll be back for the second half in a few minutes. Okay, and back comes, here we are for the second half. Whitchester takes the ball in to begin the action. Whitchester again in the flex. Proctor just stepping in front of every screen. They're not trailing on anything. There goes Parrish to the hoop. Livia with the block and the rebound. Here comes Abby McKieran.
Job, Sammy. Get back, Sammy.
Reichert in the corner. Nice entry pass.
Oh, something different there.
Nice assist from Olivia, this time to Emma Reichert. Proctor extends to a 22-point lead. Good help that time.
Well, that's the thing. Proctor's getting help after. They get by one defender and the other one's there.
Proctor being patient with the ball. They ought to, if they can, if they get stuck in the outside. There's no ball pressure at all by Whitchester. Nice big screen that time. McKieran all the way to the hoop. Reichert on the boards, but unable to control it. And here comes Whitchester back. Steal by McKieran. Jump stop and not quite able to dribble it in. Rebound by Lexi Bride, but off the mark.
Black 10. That's her first.
Foul that time on Phoebe Parrish, her first foul. Ball out to Reichert.
20 white.
Livia in the middle on that little curl play. Off the mark. You know, I think she can just stop there and that was Barkham off the mark. And you know, one of the things I'm noticing is Whitchester isn't even getting shots.
No.
I mean, if you're going to come back from a 22-point deficit, you've got to get enough shots to actually make up the difference. And they, you know, even that time, they had to take the ball into the backcourt just to get it into bounds.
I'll be here before.
Just cannot put the ball in the hole.
Livia with the rebound, outlet to McKieran. Foul on number 5, Barkham that time. That's her third.
They gave that to Abby.
Oh, wow.
That's, ooh,
Wow.
it's impossible.
That's it's
Unbelievable.
somewhat stunning. Abby's a senior, though. She can play with 3 fouls. Good help on the drive, and here comes McKieran. Abby on the outside. Ball being swung, this time over to Reichert. Lucky she didn't get a travel on that play. Back to Bride. There's Reichert into the middle, but Lexi picks up the mess and puts it in. Proctor now up 29-5. 4:57 left in the third. Barkham on the outside, over to Parrish. Guess who comes away with it? Sierra Thornton. You don't want to get in a wrestling match with her.
24? Nope.
Shot off the mark that time by Reichert. McKieran for deep three. She puts it down. 32-5, and this is starting to get way out of hand. Isabel Valerio getting ready to check in for the Phantoms, along with Brianna Hillier and Alexandria for Whitchester. Barkham, another shot. Looks like Proctor's basically saying to Barkham, if you're going to beat us, do it. Ball goes off Whitchester's foot. And over to the Phantoms. In comes Isabel Valerio. Abby McKieran coming out. I think what they're saying on that half-court play is that she didn't have all 3 points in the front court. So when it went awry, it wasn't actually backcourt because she was never in the front court.
I had it down for backcourt.
Looked like it to me, but I'm just telling you what the ref said. Good defense that time by Sierra Thornton. Emma runs her off the mark. Here comes Isabel. Nice pass that time to Lexi Bride. Great pass by Isabel.
This is unreal.
That vision, frankly, reminds me of her sister, the older one, not the. Well, they're both older, nevertheless. Good vision. Whitchester doing something. And Lexi Bride picks up her third on the block. That's a team second, Proctor.
We got a sub here.
And
Boy,
Haley Mears hits the first.
a long time on that 5 again.
I think that 5 was there since the first quarter.
Yeah.
And off on the second one, Olivia with the rebound. This time she brings it up over to sister Isabel. Over to Reichert, steps to the middle, turns the ball over this time. Actually, it's a tie-up with Lexi Bride.
That's one spot.
Isabel's used to playing the 2, and I think that someone's looking for someone else to handle the ball. But she better get used to it. Lexi with the turnover that time. Good D by Isabel out front. Good ball pressure.
This is not the type of game that you want to come up with a tournament coming up. This is going to be hard to forget.
It's Isabel's second foul. I think with LaPearl, Isabel is probably best served saying, look, if you're going to shoot a jump shot on me, do it. But there must be a can or something blocking the top of that rim because nobody's hit the easy shots. Meredith Parker coming in for Lexi Bride. Proctor up 34-7. Swings it back over to Reichert into Olivia for 2. Nice pass by
Nice and
Reichert.
easy layup.
And that's the thing that's remarkable about this game. Proctor's making this look so easy.
I know.
You know, this is seemed like they had more trouble with, Black River a couple of weeks ago, and Black River doesn't have 14 wins.
Like 24, that's still good also.
Proctor put this game in a bottle and seal it good.
That's Emma Reichert's 3rd foul. Rebound by Sierra Thornton. Ball over to Isabel.
11.
Gets it up on the rim, and Thornton gets the rebound and puts it back. Emma Reichert with the rebound. And here she comes, full court, and turns the ball over.
38-7.
She's just got
believed it?
Oh, gee, I was not thinking of this. But it's a good way to go out if you're.
Yes.
If you're on Proctor on senior night, and something happened there that didn't look like a shot. Nevertheless, rebound. Reichert comes full court, off the mark again. Gets in there aggressively. And both go to the floor. Ball goes over to Whitchester. I like her hustle, but to be honest, Emma's got to figure out a way to stay on her feet.
Yep.
Because she's going to get herself hurt or somebody else. And good closeout that time. Parker with the foul. It's Meredith's first foul. And Haley Mears is at the line, misses the first. Hits the second. Unfortunately, you aren't going to come back from 30 points down.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 24 white. No.
Good finish. They all seem to know what the clock was doing and got the ball up on the rim. Just weren't able to
3-point quarter. 8 points at the end of 3 quarters. Unbelievable. I just can't fathom even thinking about it.
And the thing that you can't, the only thing you can say if you're Whitchester is at least they scored 3 that quarter. Because
they got to be wondering, are we that bad or is Proctor that good? I'll tell you one thing, Proctor is that good tonight. Defensively, it's the best defense I've seen them play all year. They're helping each other out. They're anticipating. They're moving their feet. It's fun to watch.
And they're spreading the ball around.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you got everybody's got 8, 7, 10, 6, 6, 6 points. You know, it's that makes it a lot easier to deal with. Nobody's feeling bad about themselves because everybody's part of things. Abby McCarron comes back in. This time they're using Sierra at the point and popping Abby out. See if they can get her going with her jump shot a little bit. And Olivia goes all the way to the hoop and draws the foul. One of the things I'm noticing is that the spacing of the Phantoms on offense seems to be a lot better.
Why?
I can't tell you why, but it does. And Olivia hits the first.
Takes the second.
And the second. Proctor's now up 40-8. I wonder if I saw the MSJ, frankly, I saw the MSJ coaches in the restroom before the game.
They're here.
And they are getting an eyeful. I think they're also getting an eyeful of Whitchester.
Yep.
Foul that time on Sierra Thornton.
Team 6.
To be honest, sometimes I wonder what Kim Levin's looking at. And I've known her for a really long time. Back when I was coaching at the College of St. Joe's, and saw her over there all the time, and boy, I don't know what the angle she was looking at, but frankly, it's not the referees that have anything to do with this game.
No.
So back comes McCarran, and they've cut the lead to 29.
Bonus now for about 7.
Actually, not true. It's 31. McCarran on the outside gets to penetrate. Kick that time on LaPearl. Ball will be out of bounds to Proctor. McCarran for 3, off the mark. Good. Steal that time by Parrish, and she goes all the way. Nice screen by Meredith Parker. Not able to finish is Sierra Thornton. And Parker with another rebound.
Good try.
McCarran out deep.
Getting a little bit sloppy here now.
Yeah, and you know, when you have a 29-point lead, you'd expect things might get a little bit more ragged, but Courtney Currier back in the game, picking up a little bit more playing time. Meredith Parker also in. This time Parrish is able to convert, but the cat is out of the bag, as they say.
He's long been gone.
In this game. Swings the ball over to Thornton, and Parker unable to catch the ball. Parrish out deep, and she's able to drop one in.
10 seconds.
Again, looked to me like it was all ball, but what does it matter at this point?
Doesn't matter.
Parrish does get to the line. And she is off the mark. Olivia with another rebound. Taking the ball up against Parrish.
It's 1-1.
Try, Sammy.
Yep. Team's third, yep. Going in. Yep.
Foul was on Barkham, her first, team's third. Ball into McCarran. And Abby with a little tricky dribble there.
Stay down.
Courtney Currier on the inside. Throws one in. And that's a nice cap to your senior game right there.
Yes, it is.
Give credit to the other seniors for getting her the ball in there. There's Parrish on the outside.
That's her third. Yep. Team's third foul. Team's third.
Alex, you all set?
That's 3.
Ball again into Courtney.
21 again, no.
This one's blocked.
So.
Lexi Bride getting ready to check in. Parrish from the outside. Olivia with another rebound.
She's had a field tonight.
Yeah, as she always seems to. She's averaging about 12 rebounds a game, which is outstanding.
Yep.
And Proctor with a 42-15 lead. Ball around the outside. McKieran looking to drill. Proctor now smartly taking some time off the clock. Pretty weak pass that time by May. We'll get her an AAU this year and see if you can put a little more mustard on those. Almost a steal. Ooh, block shot by Olivia. Of course, she didn't have to jump very high for that one. Foul that time on Phoebe Parrish, her 4th foul, team's 5th. Olivia Valerio checks out of the game with 4 minutes and 4 seconds left. High screen by Courier. Another one of those kind of weaker passes. And that comes Brianna Hillier for 2 for Whitchester, now 3:38 and counting. Sarah Pecor getting ready to check into the game. Taking off the various jewelry and other unsundries, as they say. Turnover by Courier this time, and LaPearl steps out of bounds, and timeout is called this time, I believe, by Chris Hughes.
42-17 with 3:19 to go. Absolutely polished game by the Phantoms.
I think it's one of those things going into the playoffs. I didn't know how they were going to respond. It wasn't going to make a huge difference as far as the seedings, whether they were going to be 2 or 3. They knew they were in the top 4. They'd beaten West Rutland once. They'd beaten MSJ once. They know they know they can beat anybody who's whether they're ahead of them or tied with them or one behind or whatever. And there wasn't a lot to gain, but they came out and on senior night, typically a very emotional kind of thing for players and parents alike, and basically just blew them right out of the gym.
If they play like this in any of the remaining games, there's nobody going to stay with them. Just an unbelievable performance.
And apparently Sierra Thornton saw somebody in the stands who needed that ball.
Yep.
And it was a perfect pass to the gentleman in blue in the first row. Unfortunately, I think she was looking for Abby McCarran. Backdoor and unable to convert. And there is...
I see early in the game that backdoor would have never taken place.
Yeah, they do have, right now, they've got a number of, Erica May doesn't get a lot of time. Sarah Pecor doesn't usually get a lot of time.
That's good. They need to be in there right now.
And this is their opportunity to show what they can do, get ready for a little bit for next year, and if called upon, you don't know what kind of foul trouble is going to happen in the playoffs. So maybe Erica May is going to have to play some minutes that she's not used to. LaPearl with the pass back to Lexi Bride. Kick out to Thornton. Pecor off the mark. McCarran saves the ball. Or not.
That's a rather interesting call. Almost half court by Kim.
Yeah. And Allie Blackmer checking into the game for Erica May. McCarran with the rebound this time. Good pass to Lexi Bride, who finishes. Excellent play. Very nice pass. And good finish that time by Lexi.
Looking ahead in the boys tournament, the Phantoms boys will be here tomorrow at 2 o'clock playing the team that they're somewhat familiar with, beating them last year in the state finals at Barry.
Yep.
How could we ever forget that game?
Unbelievable game. And that foul was on Phoebe Parrish, which was her 5th. Foul shot off the mark. Isabel Valerio getting ready to check in, probably for Abby McCarron, I'm guessing, as she comes out during this senior game. And LaPearl goes to the hoop, dish over to Haley Mears for 2. Scores 44-19 with 1:32 left. Kick out to Thornton, and Lexi Bride with the turnover. Looked like a bit of a walk there, but
14.
here comes Whitchester with 1:15 left. Abby McCarron with the steal, and goes to the
No
hoop.
call.
But LaPearl is able to get her hand on the ball, knock it out of bounds. Sierra Thornton coming out. Isabel coming in. Turnover that time. It's going to go down as a turnover. McCarron with the rebound that time. The turnover was going to go, the prior one was going to go to Abby McCarron, but that wasn't her fault. Big bunch in the middle there, and Abby's going to go to the line with 46 seconds left.
How many?
That's her first.
I just want to make sure they got the...
It's on number 21, Amelia Matrick,
That's got 1-1.
and Abby hits the first.
No, that's not the one.
Off on the second.
45-19, 40 seconds.
Abby with another steal. Ball over to Allie Blackmer. Doesn't quite finish. Lexi in there for the rebound, ties it up, but ball goes back over to Whitchester with 26 seconds left.
I have a white arrow.
Some nice hands that time by Pecor on the outside, and nice pass inside to LaPearl, from LaPearl to number 12, Alexandria, and that's the ball game. Proctor with a convincing 45-21 win over
Devastating victory.
Whitchester, and 45-21, and it wasn't that close.
No.
I am